Hi, my name is Tara Wells, and I did all my research for Turner syndrome, and then we had to drive from Kansas City to Wichita today. So I'm just not able to do the video about it. But Turner syndrome is something that's important to me because I have a cousin whose daughter has Turner syndrome, and then I also have a friend whose daughter has Turner syndrome. And what's interesting to me is that both of the girls have, because Turner syndrome is in females, both of them are a similar age. They both are extremely blonde, not quite completely pale skin and blue eyes, but they do have a similar look to them, and they have similar personalities, which I always thought was interesting and wondered if that had to do with Turner syndrome. Like every morning that they wake up, it's like the best day that ever happened for both of them. So, and both of them never met a stranger. It's just interesting to me that both of them have that personality trait. So Turner syndrome, it affects about 1 in 2,000 to 1 in 2,500 live female births. So it's estimated that 3% are affected of all female babies that are conceived, but only 1% of the babies survive delivery. So it's kind of rare that I know two people, I feel like, that has that. So the chromosome or mutation that's involved, it's a sex chromosome aneuploidy, so females with one X chromosome. And it's usually inherited from their mother because the mom, has two X chromosomes. The dad has an X and a Y. So it's usually inherited from the mom, not always, but usually. Some of the symptoms and signs are that they don't have ovaries, so they're not able to reproduce. They are short. In stature. They have a webbed neck, which makes me sad. My friend's daughter was just made fun of for her neck recently, and really hurt her feelings and caused some teenage girl drama and issues and things. But it was super unfortunate that happened. But oftentimes people with Turner syndrome have a webbed neck. Edema, so some swelling, and then underdeveloped breasts as well. So the diagnostic tests that are used, there's a genetic test called a karyotype analysis that can confirm the Turner syndrome diagnosis. Just requires a blood draw, but it can determine whether one of the X chromosomes is fully or partially missing. So a complete heart evaluation is usually a part of the diagnosis as well. So the prognosis for people with Turner syndrome or females with Turner syndrome is that their life expectancy might be slightly shorter, but by testing for it and treating the conditions that come with it, they can expect to live essentially normal lives. The treatments for Turner syndrome are, some people will choose to do growth hormone therapy and estrogen therapy. So it can help to normalize their height since they are usually shorter in stature. The current research from the NICHD includes ones that have been completed. So the effects of estrogen on cognition in girls with Turner syndrome, the effect of biosynthetic growth hormone on adult height in patients with Turner syndrome, hormone replacement therapy to treat Turner syndrome. And then they're actually recruiting right now for gonadal tissue freezing for fertility preservation in girls at risk for ovarian dysfunction and premature ovarian insufficiency. So I was able to send that to both the moms of those girls. And what I found interesting though was that they're recruiting for it from several different conditions, and Turner syndrome was one of those. But when I read about it, it said that people with Turner syndrome typically lacked ovaries. So the fact that they were able to freeze the tissue, I was just curious, like if you have a completely missing X chromosome or if it's just incomplete, if maybe a person has one ovary and not the other. I'm not quite sure on that. I haven't done enough research on that to see how they're doing that specific study. Another study that is complete that they did previously was the effects of hormones in growth hormone treated girls with Turner syndrome. So yeah, that's something, like I said, that's personal to me, that I've been able to meet 2 girls with Turner syndrome, and been able to watch them grow and progress from both of them within the last 5 to 8 years, and they're young teenagers now. So it'll be neat to be able to see them as they grow into adulthood and see how Turner syndrome has affected their lives, and just their view on maybe motherhood, whether or not they will get married and adopt, or how they will be able to address being a parent if they choose to get married, and where science will take Turner syndrome in the future too is really exciting. So